speak on stage. Can you all hear me? We good?
Yes, we can.
Yay!
And clear.
Oh, look at that. That's it.
Hello,
Radio
everyone.
boys.
Can you all hear me loud and clear?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it's the 5th of May, our first AMA into the May mayhem. Welcome, everyone.
Oh, it's a lot of chats going up on Discord already. Yay! Look at that. Willow, what are you saying, Willow? You want more information? Less information? You want relevant information?
Information at a different pace.
You know, here's the inside secret about our AMAs is, you know, we just do it for us. We like to get together and talk and have fun. More, Nacho G says more information. Oops.
It's never enough.
It's like that song from Barnum, that was a P.T. Barnum movie. Never enough, never enough. Right, it's a hit. When earning, JJ, of course. More when. Perfect. We have do we have Bitbender here yet? Is he in the house?
I do not see him.
Okay.
Fashionably late.
He did let me know that our meeting invite still shows this being on Discord, so he was double checking to show up on Twitter. Imagine he'll be here in a moment.
Yay.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Masashi.
I'm gonna tell you what, while you guys get started, I'll go find Bitbender.
Yes, there's so much about Gala V2 that we need to talk about. All right, wait, let's just get started with all of the Townstar stuff. Again, just welcome everyone. It's May 5th, our first AMA inside of the May Mayhem. And I believe a lot of people are super excited about all the stuff that's been happening with TSG. But before we get into all of that stuff, just a quick update on TSL. So TSL is still going to be there. Probably the links will be different. It's not going to be updated. It's going to be called Townstar Legacy. It'll just be lying around there, not something that'll be maintained. And yeah, let's get a lot of details on TSG. You've been seeing a lot of bug fixes coming this week. Bug fixes coming just multiple times a day at times. Team's been working really hard on this. But let me just hand it over to Masashi to just talk about all of the updates, the longer term strategy, and everything else.
Hey, right now?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, hey, guys. Welcome to the AMA. Happy you guys are here, and thanks for playing throughout this week. You have reported a bunch of issues. We're trying to fix them all as quickly as possible. We're prioritizing, things related to the meta. So please bear with us while we fix a lot of stuff. You have noticed that we have released a version at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. So we are working really hard to get things fixed and getting the game more and more into what you guys need. Getting better every day. So thank you for all your feedback and for playing this test competition. Regarding the game itself, well, we have discussed this before. but we have said before that our main priority after launch will be earnings. So we're looking at the daily challenge. We need to discuss that with other parts of Gala regarding giving Gala for different things in game, not only town points. Sorry, looking at some messages now from the team. So we're working on daily challenge. We need to figure out a bunch of things to comply with the light paper that we released, that you guys know. We also want to include some other stuff related to that, like, for example, boosts and microtransactions. So the idea is that the Gala that is distributed through daily challenges should be fed also by a part of what people spend in microtransactions and boosts. So yeah, working on that, and also working on a bunch of other features that we've discussed before. You know that there's some people probably asking about the golden goose. That's something that it's in there. But yeah, our main priority is that, making sure that competitions are working properly, that you have all the NFTs that you had before working. For example, some people were asking for the UFO. I'm expecting that fix to go out today. So if everything goes well, you'll get your UFO working today, for example. So we are looking at the Discord constantly. Farmer Michelle is getting the reports every day about what you guys need to get fixed, and we're moving as fast as we can. Diablo?
Awesome. So I know there were a lot of questions earlier on what would be in, what wouldn't be in, but I think people have been saying that a lot of these new integrations, unit scraps have been coming through the week, and they'll continue to keep coming in. We can go to some Q&A, but I think we can do that a little later. What do you guys think? Should we go through the rest of the agenda? Michelle?
Yeah, let's just keep going right through.
All right. So we have Bitbender here. We have been getting some questions on Gala V2 and steal the show.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? This is Bitbender, and I am coming to you from the driver's seat of my car this morning. I'm driving a buddy to the airport, so I apologize if there's some background noise because I am driving in the rain. Wanted to go ahead and hit some of the high point questions that people have regarding Gala V2, as well as to give a little bit of a basic explainer for exactly what it is and why it is, most importantly, for everybody who is listening. The first thing is that Gala V2 is something that we absolutely need to move forward with Geary and bridging correctly for Gala. One of the things that you guys know from being in this space is that bridges are treacherous. They can be extremely, extremely treacherous. And one of the reasons that is that most bridges operate as collateralized bridges. What that means is that these bridges hold tokens on one side and then make a new copy of a token on the other side. This is a little bit of a problem because it leaves a gigantic pile of tokens on one side of the bridge that if there's some sort of issue, somebody can swoop in and take. This is what happened with Ronin. This is what's happened with several other bridges. As you guys know, and as we've talked about, this is generally speaking not what we want to do. We do not want this to be this way at all for any bridges involving any of our tokens. The problem with that is that means that you have to burn tokens in order to bridge them. And the Gala V1 contract does not correctly track that. And if it was a situation where a lot of things were being bridged back and forth rapidly, you would get to a point where the max supply would be reached on the contract, and then it would stop making new tokens, which would be bad for everybody because nothing would work then. So the Gala V2 is an absolute requirement to have the high security bridge configuration that we've set up, which is obviously necessary for Geary going forward. The second major improvement is there's a massive improvement in the security of the contract itself. So basically, it takes a lot of different contract functionalities and it locks them behind multi-sig features using a Gnosis safe. And that's something that is a big improvement over the existing contract and puts it in a much higher tier of security and has made the contract auditors very, very happy to see that. That's, you know, implemented, and all of the major functions are locked behind that. The third thing that this does is it makes it so that in the future the token is upgradable, so we never have to do this again. So if necessary, if there's a problem or if there's you know, some sort of vulnerability or a zero-day exploit that's discovered or something like that, we can upgrade the token without having to do this whole gigantic mess with all the exchanges again, which obviously frustrates everybody. You know, not least of all myself, because you know, me and Jeff Gurulanius and a few other people are working pretty much night and day, and I literally mean night and day. I was up until like 1 a.m. talking to exchanges last night. You know, ironing out little details and making sure that everything's okay on their end and that they understand the process and all of these things. It is not fun. One question that people have very, very frequently in regards to exchanges is, why didn't you guys work this out with exchanges before you did this? People, and there have been some fairly prominent people who have criticized this. But the reality is that you actually can't even begin this conversation with exchanges until after you make an announcement. We have private conversation groups with basically almost every major exchange. And when we surfaced this to them significantly in advance of this, several months ago, they were like, okay, great, let us know when you make the announcement and then we can talk about it. The reason for this is exchanges they're looking basically for you to be extremely serious about what it is that you're doing. Because for them, doing something like this, a token upgrade, there's a cost associated with it. It's something that they have to commit engineering resources to, and it's something that they have to, you know, they have to pause trading, they have to make sure that everything's there for the snapshot, they have to answer, you know, customer questions. It's pretty much a gigantic pain for them. And so they won't even begin that conversation until after you've made an announcement. So we've made the announcement, obviously, and we are having conversations with exchanges. We cannot tell you exactly what exchanges have said they will support it until after they make their announcement. So later today, we're going to be publishing a blog that is going to list the exchanges that have publicly said that they are supporting it. This is not as long of a list as I would like it to be right now, but many of them have said they're making their announcements on Monday. So it's going to be a shorter list right now. I think I don't want to say anything right now because I don't want to get a name wrong while I'm, you know, in traffic. But there's a bunch more that have not publicly made an announcement, but have told us that they are going to, and then we will begin magnifying that. So the only exchange thus far that has publicly said that they are not going to support it is Coinbase. And while I do not know the exact reasoning behind what they have said, if you were to go and look at my Twitter, I did a big, gigantic, long tweet on this yesterday that basically walks through what I think is the rationale, and I think it's because they consider this an airdrop, which it really isn't. This is a token upgrade with the deprecation of the existing token. And those of you who have been in the community for a really long time, some of which are avid Townstar players, will remember that this is the second time that we've done this. We did this once when we moved from the ERC 1155 to the ERC 20, and now we're doing it again as we move from an ERC 20 to an upgraded ERC 20 that we will be able to upgrade more easily in the future if necessary. So that's a little bit of the you know, the hows and the whys and all of these different things. This should not be a hugely stressful process. This is not an uncommon thing in the space. Upgrades happen all the time. So, you know, try not to get too stressed about it. the number one thing that I can tell you is that if you are worried about whether or not the exchange that you are working with is participating, the best thing that you can do is to self-custody your own tokens. This is always true. Self-custodying, get yourself a ledger, get yourself a Trezor, and self-custody your own coins in MetaMask, or in some wallet where you control the mnemonic key phrase of that wallet. If you have that is, and you can see it on Etherscan. You can go to Etherscan and you can look at your address and you can see your Gala there, then you should be fine. And if it's on an exchange and you're not sure, just move it to a wallet that is your own, and make yourself feel better about it. A lot of exchanges are going to come out saying that they're supporting it here, and that's great, and we thank them for that, and we appreciate that. But if that's a thing that you're concerned about, then that's the way that you fix it. And we cannot tell you what exchanges support the new version of the token until they publicly announce it. We have a much longer list behind the scenes, but they just haven't pushed out their announcements yet, and we can't jump the gun on that. Or that would potentially cause problems for us and them and you guys, and generally speaking, just bad. But yeah, that's that. Those are the most common questions I've got. I am not in Discord right now on account of driving, but if somebody can read off any questions that you guys happen to see, I'd be happy to deal with them.
Yeah, I'll jump in. So guys, share your questions if you've got them. Okay, there's one from the Couch Potato saying, can we move Gala V1 to Gala Wallet? Will they be upgraded?
Yes, you can. The Gala wallet, you control your own keys there, so you're perfectly fine. Also, if you have Gala in the treasure chest, that's also fine too. No need to mint that to Ethereum in order to have that be the V2.
Great. Next question from Griffey. How long after May 15th snapshot does the coin drop for V2 happen? Is there a period of time or immediately after?
It's not going to be immediately after, because there's about, I'm guessing by the time this happens, it's going to be 250,000 addresses. So that's 250,000 different Ethereum transactions that we will have to make. Well, it's not 250,000. It's a lot of Ethereum transactions that we're going to have to make. Each of those will be a bulk mint to about 100 addresses at once. And so that's going to take a little bit of time, and depending on the gas situation, that may take even up to a couple days. So don't worry though, there is going to be a bot in Discord that will show the transactions as they're going through, and we'll be putting them into the mempool at an acceptable gas level. But if something times out, then that's fine. We can reinitiate that. It's not a big deal. So basically, it's probably going to take a couple days total for all of the new V2 bulk mints to happen. But all of the exchanges that are supporting us and are in contact with us will be getting their V2 right away. So there shouldn't be any major exchange downtime or anything like that, and it should be a fairly painless process, but you may just have to kind of sit it out and wait just a little bit.
Cool. So you're getting thank yous from Willow, the Couch Potato, and Griffey. There's another question from Lecco. So can we leave the Gala in the treasure chest? They will be fine and upgraded. Yes, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. DubstepRod says this is gonna be expensive for Gala with lots of gas fees right now.
Oh, you have no freaking idea. I'm looking at the meme coin pop off, looking at this becoming another beginning of a bull run, and kind of just hoping that it calms down a little bit by the time we have to do this in a week and a half.
There's another question from the C's. What is going to happen if someone is not aware about this V1 to V2 exchange? Are they going to lose the V1, or are Gala going to help them do the change when Gala V1 owner realizes this? Sorry, paraphrasing.
Yeah, no worries. So basically, if they're holding it in their own wallet, then it's fine. It's not going to be a problem. If they're holding it in a wallet that is, on an exchange, and for whatever reason that exchange decides not to support the V2 process, like Coinbase, then that is unfortunate. There really isn't anything that I can do about that. We're doing our best to get the news out as much as possible and let everybody know. But if somebody misses it, they miss it, and that is unfortunate. And people are going to get a little bit salty with me for saying it, but that's kind of crypto, and this is why you have to be involved in the communities that you're doing this stuff with. And if you're self-custodying, then you're perfectly fine. The much bigger issue would be if we were to do this another way, like, for example, have people go through a manual swap process with a window or something, and then have that window close. That would be much.
Hope you dropped out there.
Different
He did
things
say he was driving
quite a
through the
few
rain.
times.
Can you repeat that last sentence, Bitbender? It
Oh,
got
sorry.
cut off.
Yeah, I'm in like a little tiny dead spot here. It would be way worse if people had to go through a swap process, because many more people would get left behind, and we don't want that.
Got it. There's Ed777 says, what about the Gala store? Will we not be able to purchase in Gala for a few days? That's a good question.
No, you should be able to purchase using Gala V2 right away. Whether or not you have that Gala V2, depending on how those transactions are going through, that may take a little bit longer, but it should be fairly quick. The reality is that most of the addresses holding Gala, like a very, very, very high percentage of the addresses holding Gala, are holding relatively small amounts of Gala. There's like tens of thousands of addresses that have 100 Gala in them. So those are like, it will take a few days, but a lot of those addresses are probably not super active users. And my guess is that if you're a quite active user in the community, then you should probably be getting that within a few hours, I would imagine.
Cool. Let's see. Trying to get through some last big questions. An announcement will be made once the snapshot is taken. I guess.
Yes, an announcement.
Tell everybody, yeah.
Yeah, an announcement will be made once the snapshot is taken, of course. But just to clarify, this is a snapshot, quote unquote. We're using that term snapshot because it's something that people understand. But what it really is it's just examining Ethereum, looking at the blockchain, and seeing every address that has Gala V1 at a specific block height, and say, okay, they need the upgraded token. So, there's, as long as stuff is in your address and in a wallet that you control, or in an exchange that is participating, then you should be perfectly fine.
Okay. There's an interesting question from Violette. Will town that gets swapped after May 15th automatically go to V2 Gala?
Yes, absolutely.
Boom. There we go.
That's a relief.
Yeah, we've had a tremendous amount of testing and bug hunting, and huge amounts of QA that have gone into this, and upgrading of every place that the contract interfaces with the V1, or everywhere that the platform interfaces with the V1 will be the V2, and we've got it all ready to go in stage and ready to be pushed to prod. So the moment that is ready to go, then we'll be able to kick it off, no problem at all.
Cool. And then let's just wrap up with one last question here. Can we send, this from Nacho G, can we send Gala V1 to the burn wallet after the snapshot?
You could do whatever you want with it. the way that I look at it is it's not going to have any utility whatsoever on our platform. We will consider it deprecated, and we won't have anything to do with it after the snapshot is taken and the V2 has been sent to all of the addresses that have the V1. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not something that is an active token in our system, and it is not supported after that point in time. So yeah, you can burn it if you want to. I don't know why you would spend the Ethereum to initiate a transaction though.
You know, a couple of us were in India when they announced the demonetization and the changing in some of the currency there. Sounds just like it. I was walking around with some extra bills, old bills in my wallet. There's nothing I could do.
Yeah, they become nice souvenirs at that point in time. It's like, hey, I was involved at this point in time. This is the thing that that I was part of, and I think that's cool.
All right, I think there's actually one last question, and it's related to Coinbase again, since we talked about it.
Sure.
If you hold Gala in a Coinbase wallet, do we need to move it, right? I think there's maybe clarification on
so
where you actually hold it, right?
If you're holding it in Coinbase, the exchange, then you need to get that off, and you need to get that off as quickly as possible, because you don't want to be in a situation where they're like, you need to go through an extra verification process, and we're not going to respond to your ticket for a week or something like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen to anybody. So the sooner you move on that, the better. In terms of Coinbase Wallet, I don't use Coinbase Wallet, but it is my understanding, and please someone correct me if I'm incorrect. It is my understanding that you actually have the keys to that wallet and the mnemonic, and you can get the private key. So if you needed to, absolute worst case scenario, you could probably import it into MetaMask if you wanted to. Correct? If I'm incorrect, please somebody tell me. But if that is the case, then I'm sure that it's fine, because at that point the wallet is just serving as an interface to allow you to connect to the Ethereum address. If that is incorrect, then that's a different situation, and you maybe are better off putting it somewhere that is a little bit more robustly self-custodied.
Yeah, there's notes, peace of mind, the couch potato. They're saying Coinbase Wallet, you have keys. I know it's been a long time since I set up Coinbase Wallet. I do have keys for that. Griffey says the same thing.
Okay, then.
Oh no, Griffey says my Coinbase Wallet. Okay, never mind. Griffey didn't say that, but yeah, that's what everybody else is saying.
Yeah, so then you should be okay. The one other note that I would like to remind people of is that you want to make sure that you do not have Gala V1 in any smart contract, okay, when this happens. So the big examples there are liquidity pools. You do not want to have it in a liquidity pool at that time, because if you do, you potentially run the risk of not being able to get the V2. Of course, because it is an address on Ethereum, that liquidity pool will still get the V2, but you just may not be able to extract it. It may just be dead tokens at an address that nobody can access. So you want to make sure that is not the case.
Awesome. And thanks, Bitbender, for joining us this morning and sharing all of this.
No problem, guys.
Really appreciate it.
And
really appreciate it. And especially when you're driving.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a good thing to get behind us, and unblocks a lot of stuff going forward. And I am incredibly excited about it, and I think everybody else will be too. So I'm going to go because traffic's getting heavy, but thank you guys so much. And I will be in Discord in a little bit to answer other questions.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Thanks,
Thanks a
Bitbender.
lot, Bitbender. All right, that was some good piece of info from Bitbender. Like I got some information which even I didn't know. Super cool. Right. Going back to Townstar and TSG and everything that we were talking about, we do have some stuff to talk about on the performance. Volcron has some notes. Volcron, why don't you steal the show?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm super excited to be placing somewhere in the mid to low, near the bottom of the leaderboards in live. It's exciting actually to me to just see how many people are playing it. So that's great. The number of people playing it, of course, as we expected, would stress our systems in ways that, although we planned for them, sometimes, as you fill up the waterbed, sometimes that's how you find the leaks, to use a strange analogy from the 90s. So anyway, yeah, there were a couple spots in our back end that were not as efficient as we wanted them to be. That caused probably about an hour or so, I think maybe less than that, of an outage for some people. That was unfortunate, but we got that fixed thanks to our amazing DevOps team. I think every week we look at our DevOps people and we just do the Wayne's World thing and say we are not worthy. They're so good, and they've been working so long with us. So yeah, there's definitely some performance improvements we need to make on the client. Reports are coming in Discord, obviously, on high CPU usage. Haven't seen too many on high RAM usage, things like that. So we are aware of that, guys. Keep providing those console logs, keep providing screenshots. That will help us troubleshoot, and isolate what is the culprit. Right now, it does not seem to be browser specific. Some people have these client-side performance problems in Brave. I run my game in Brave, and it's fine. But other people, they have it in Edge, while other people, it runs fine in Edge. So the more info we can get, the better. Thank you for all your reports on that. And yes, one-odd gent, Netscape is supported. I have an OS2 Warp VM that you can run it on. So yeah, give it a try. The gameplay server on our back end, as you all know, it's not part of the reason that we rewrote this game was to make it server authoritative. There was a bit of stress on the gameplay server, but overall it's performing well. There were some auto sell bugs noticed this week. We have changes for that being tested out last night and today. And I wanted to address one thing that's mystifying, can probably be a little frustrating as a player, is what's perceived as rollbacks. So we don't do that. We don't roll anybody back. That was a Townstar Live thing. If you are seeing your town, if you play it and then you refresh and you're like, oh shoot, all those changes I made are gone, we didn't penalize you, we didn't roll you back. That's not part of our strategy. What happened was your client was still connected to the server. Technically, the socket is still open, but there was an error, the server saving, right? And you were not informed of that. And that's unfortunate, and we want to fix that, and we want to make that way more in your face. If the server isn't, saving for whatever reason, like I mentioned, the, performance on the very back end of committing some of those records. So what'll happen is that stuff will just unfortunately get lost. So that's a high priority for us to let you know that if you're connected to a valid server, so that's done, that its versions match, everything's good. But our next step is to be a little better on our communication with everybody who's playing. So making sure to let you know exactly why there's like the little spinning T logo, or, exactly for sure, like when you're using Google Docs, it says last saved 8 seconds ago, things like that. So that you know that unless something's in your face telling you there's a problem, everything's fine. That's where we want to get to. Yeah, other than that, probably just some, other minor notes on performance. Just to reiterate, please feel free to DM me, but it's better on Townstar discussion or even on the bug reports channel. If you guys aren't in there, please get in there. And yeah, screenshots and logs. Thank you so much for playing.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that update, Volcron. I know we've been looking at a lot of these reports from players, and we've been working on them iteratively. And I think a lot of people also see that with these updates coming and these bugs getting continuously fixed. Cool stuff. I really love it. I hope everyone else is loving it as well. Great. Michelle, what's next on the agenda?
Let's see here. I've got a couple of questions for Q&A that we can go through. The first one I've got here is, when will the open pack utility and functionality work?
In terms of the, so this is something that we spoke about a few weeks back. I'll let Masashi handle it in terms of the progress and when it will be available. But we did say it will go in sometime post TSG's launch. May take a few weeks and all of that. Masashi, do you have any more information on that you can share?
Sorry, could you repeat? I was talking to the team.
This was regarding the open packs, the utility and functionality, and when they will be expected to work.
For the open luxury pack, yes, sure. So we have that in. So I just had a talk with the team about that. We're expecting that early next week, so that should be in game. Basically we have the data and the assets in. We have the basic functionality. What we're trying to build now, this is like, you probably don't care about this, but I'll tell you anyways. You know that it has stacking and a limit on stacking. So that's the part that we're building to make sure that it works as expected. So expect that at some point next week, hopefully early next week.
Wow, that's so cool. I think that should put a lot of these questions to rest. I think we keep hearing that too often. Any other questions, Michelle, which you already have from earlier?
Let's see here. We've got a question about the casual play server and what the meta will be. Is that meta going to change as the competition meta changes also?
Masashi, do you have information on that? I believe it will. If you could just confirm that for everyone.
Yeah, I'm just, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop listening to the team for a while, concentrate on this. Can you repeat the question, Farmer Michelle?
The question is just about the casual servers, if they're going to stay the same meta or if it's going to update every week with the new competition meta also.
Right, so we said this before, but for now it will be the same as the competition. So we'll have to do a client update after the shrimp pizza meta for the next meta. So that will have the changes expected for the next competition, and you will see that in both sandbox or casual mode as the next competition when it opens. So we'll try to get that pushed as early as possible so you can test it out in casual mode.
Yay. Isn't that fun?
I don't think I really have any other questions. I see people still just asking about some of the NFTs that are still missing. I know the Dwarf Hero still isn't in yet. I think that one's a little bit more complicated because it's an ERC 721.
So we're tackling the missing NFTs one by one, but I'm looking at a bunch of questions in Discord, and I want to say it publicly so you guys can stop asking, even though I've answered a couple times. But you say when Dragon and when UFO, both of those things are in testing today. So if everything goes well, it will go out tonight. So UFO and Green Dragon, we're trying to get those out tonight.
So I saw some questions that popped up during the week. I'll just jump in and share. One of them was, how will fast forwarding work and when will it be live in TSG? I guess we should start just calling it Townstar now, but when will it be live?
Oh, well, you're correct. It's Townstar now. So yeah, we want to avoid TSG. Right now it's Townstar. And regarding fast forwarding, so we are putting a plan in motion for testing. That thing is ready to test. We expect it to test for several days because we want to make sure that we're not breaking anything and creating a bad experience for you guys. So our plan is to release it after the shrimp pizza competition, before the next competition. what will happen is that you can see right now that there's a disabled toggle in the settings for offline catch up or something like that, right? So what will happen is that we'll enable that, and you can turn that on and off. So if you turn it off and you keep it off, essentially the game will only update while you have it open, right? And if you turn it on, then you can close your browser, come back, and it will catch up, right? So you can do strategic decisions about, well, I'm ready for it to run on its own, so I'll turn that on. Or if I'm not ready for that, I'll turn it off while I go do something else and then come back. That's essentially what I will do. We expect to have it in between the next two competitions. We'll keep you updated as that thing is ready to go out.
Got it. No, that's useful information. Michelle, should we just move forward into some of the other details that we have and then come back to more Q&A?
Yeah, let's move on into what do we got? Some leaks. We've probably got some leaks.
Yeah, we've got Todd here. Todd, what do you have to share with us now? I know
Yo.
you have some cool stuff.
Oh, there's something cool, definitely. First, let me just say hello to the awesome Discord. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us on the AMA. Yeah, so leaks. I got a beefy GIF here, 20 MB. Let me get this set up. So one thing that I've kind of commented on last week, and I meant it with all due respects, is that we compete internally in a fun way with the other games happening. And if you guys have checked out the Gala site, you'll probably notice that there's been some cool homepage takeovers that are in motion, such as with Spider Tanks, Superior, etc. Well, that doesn't matter because Townstar is going to have its first one to kick off, or not really kick off, but to really highlight May Mayhem. And I want to show you guys just a snippet, but it's going to be awesome when it fully goes live. And it's going to feature none other than Nicole Tesla and May Mayhem branding. So hopefully this loads up. Apologies for you dial-up people, but it's going to be great. Full motion, the entire homepage. Cannot wait for this to go live, and it'll be the first of many. I'm going to take the microphone for a little bit longer, though, and just comment on other art stuff, if that's okay. But we also have a lot of cool emails going out and just ways of getting in touch with people with blog articles. So we're really sprucing that up. Moving forward, expect that. Provide us feedback, what works, what doesn't. Always looking to add some motion graphics in there too. And just on a side note though, how awesome is it, just in a response in Discord, that we finally have pizza in Townstar? I mean, it's shrimp pizza, love it or hate it. I love all pizza, but come on, like, how cool is that? Credit to the dev team involved. But yeah, the big takeaway this week is that Townstar is taking over the homepage of Gala. Just wait for it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, should I just drop some of the new art that Gina Bobina has created?
Do it.
All right.
Go for it.
I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna drop in a whole batch for y'all. Again, this is concept work, getting done, sent to our modeling house. They're building it. We're going to be launching the new art update after May Mayhem completes, and we have a batch of, we do releasing them in tranches of, or sort of groups of art as they go out. So you can see some of it, when you look at the images, you're like, some of it looks not very different. Like when we kind of just look at the wheat storage, you just go, oh yeah, it's upgraded version. And other things like the beekeeper house, it's very similar, but there's some subtle changes to it as well, just kind of cleaning it up and making it look good. And part of this is about getting all of the art that's in TSL into now the new version of Townstar and having it working, and then being ready for expanding new looks, new feels of new styles and whatnot as we go forward. I know Gina's really excited and happy about that part, but first we got to get through this. Just get to everybody to get the new version of what their art should look like into the game. So there's that. Like I said, just people keep saying, when's the new art coming? It'll come after May Mayhem's done, and that'll be dependent on how quickly we can get large groups of art from the outsourcing house that's doing all the modeling, as well as we want to make sure that when we drop it in the game, it doesn't create a lot of problems. So we'll have to do some testing on it as well.
Wow. I'm still looking at some of those art pieces, and I'm actually spending more time on, digging into the common, rare, epic, legendary, trying to find out the differences. And, it's just really cool. A lot of work done there. I'm also seeing all the reactions continuously go up on Todd's leak there. But yeah, I think next week, the 15th, people should actually head over to Gala Games and check out the video as well. Was I not supposed to say that? I don't know, but do check it out.
Hey, so
All right.
I've queued up a bunch of questions. There was a bunch of questions before we started talking about art. Maybe we can jump back to those. I stuck the link in our own on our own AMA chat there if we want to go back and get to that list. I could just start reading them off. How about I do that, guys? You guys jump in and answer? Sound good? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So here's one. Lazy Lumberjack. I've got a question. Is it normal that I'm getting lots of gray screen? Shouldn't TSG, now we'll call it TS, run for 4 days straight? Sounds like a Volcom question.
Yeah, that is unusual, and that is not expected. The goal is 100% uptime. The gray screen right now, I haven't reproduced it personally, but we have people on the team that have, so it's an important part of fixing it. Right now, yeah, I don't have any answer for you. I'm sorry.
Okay. But part of the thing everybody knows, when you get bugs that happen out in the player base, first step is trying to recreate it. So when you
Yes.
guys have it, if you have any clues, because it's kind of like a detective hunt. If you have a clue, like, hey, you know what I noticed? Every time I do X, I get a gray screen. Or maybe it's a timing thing. Every time I play for X minutes, I get a gray screen. Anything you can have, anything you find or realize or think might be important, go ahead and stick it in the bug report section. Give us notes, because that's sort of like I said, giving detectives clues to help solve the problem.
Yeah.
Next
Our best lead.
question.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go
Our
ahead.
best lead.
No, go ahead, Volker.
Right now, when the browser pane is resized. So that's been a reproducible use case. So.
Can you say that again? Your robot voice came out during the middle
Oh,
of that.
sorry.
It's hard to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, in the browser, we found that when we resize the Townstar window and there's a UI up, that can cause it. That's not, I'm not saying that's the root cause, but that's one
clue.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, and Mr. Pottymouth will not stop asking this question. When are May's pieces getting fixed? Please, someone at least acknowledge that question. So if we just acknowledge it and not answer it, is that good, Mr. Pottymouth?
Well, I acknowledge it. So I answer him. We're
Oh, you did?
basically prioritizing everything. So high priority stuff have been things like the Green Dragon and the UFO, which we're hoping everything goes right. They will go out tonight. We definitely have the ticket for the Haunted Maze, and I just bumped it up in priority for you guys, hoping that nobody else, anything else that was important, was bumped down. So we're trying to get that fixed by Monday or early competition.
Hey, Volcron, we hear you typing, Volcron.
Sorry.
Holy cow. So say that last bit again, Musashi.
That I bumped it up in priority and hoping that nothing important got bumped down because of that. So the thing that we're seeing is that, like there's a group of people in Discord that are saying, hey, I need this fixed, right? And other people want other things fixed. So we're trying to figure out with Farmer Michel what things are affecting more people and trying to prioritize those things first. So we are working on everything. Just please bear with us.
What about Ed77 says, when closebox work with a laughing, crying emoji?
I'm not
Close
sure
box?
what. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by closed box.
You know when you open settings and then you have to hit
Ah,
escape?
Oh, okay, yeah. So a little update on that, and I gave in some of the change codes that we did in Discord. That's fixed for new players. So players who had not had that issue before, they won't get it. For people who already have it, we're working on a fix. I have my top minion working on that, hoping to
Okay.
get it fixed soon enough.
Got it. Okay, let me keep going. Lightning round. Will updates be minimized during competition? It will be tough if I come home from work or wake up with my town being down for hours. I'll take that. That's one of the questions we're discussing on the team, and it's I'll tell you the parameters behind it. Obviously, yes, it's painful when there's an update happens and you get the spinning T and you're like, oh man, I just turned away for a second. The other thing is we know that we also want to get fixes and changes out, and so there's that trade-off, that balance between, do we get regular fixes and changes out daily like SK is doing, or do we wait and hold them for like a big batch, a big download after say the competition ends, or maybe once during the competition? And the trade-off on that one is, the more changes you queue up and put into a system, the more complex the testing gets, the more testing time it needs. And you would think it's just linear. Sometimes it is, but sometimes there's interactions between all the new changes that you have to go through and test. So we'll figure that out. We'll let everybody know, but we do really understand the problem that causes for folks. Jumping forward, when Galaverse in the Mediterranean? No news, Gandalf. No news on that. Next question, Jetty. When we fast forward, does the server keep track of how much time the game was closed to fast forward the town when we launch it again, or is that done on our machine's time?
No, that's
That's
server
fun.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely server side.
There you go. X-War. Hey, we had this question yesterday, Volcron. You kind of confirmed it out. How about frames per second? Does it make a difference if I zoom up map or zoom out map or open the production monitor? What I'm assuming is, does it is the simulation of the game timed to the frames per second? Like if my guys are walking slow, does that mean I'm going to be running slow? The game simulation is running slow? What do you think,
It
Volcron?
it does not mean that. It's server authoritative, so our server, the server decides when your units will arrive, where they arrive, and the speed of buildings and construction and crafts and all that. So client frame rate has no impact on your town's money making speed.
There you go. That's just a giant list of questions. We got some more popping up. Do we got more time for questions? I know we got like 7 minutes left for the hour. Maybe one more question. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we
And
got
then
time
we
for a
can
little bit
move
more.
forward to some of the details that we want to share and maybe see if we have more time at the
Come
end of
back
it.
at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that sound good, Farmer Michelle?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Go for it, guys. I'm gonna silence myself down now. Let you keep running the show. Let you keep stealing the show.
Oh, we do have some good updates from Top Boy. We've got some info on the next meta after the shrimp pizza, and yeah, this one's going to be extra cheesy, and then some information on the items that go up for sale. And I do have some stats on the May Mayhem. Top Boy, why did you give us
Yeah,
more info on the meta?
cool. Well, hope everyone's been enjoying testing out the first meta. We know there's some bugs, but honestly, the team is just ripping through those fixes. So that's been super cool to see. And I'm loving the reactions in Discord as well. In terms of the next meta, honestly, we've still got Meta 1 competition next week, so I'd rather not give too much away on the second meta. But all I can say is we know not everyone's a fan of shrimp. Some people prefer some traditional pizza toppings, so I think it's only right to keep that pizza party going. I don't want to give too much of it away, but I hope that gives a little bit of hint on what we can expect in the next meta, and maybe throughout the week we'll drop some leaks here and there. That's all I
Not
want
even
to
a
share.
name? Not even a name, really? No?
You know what? You're making this hard on me, Diablo. But sure, I'll give it the name, or I'll share the name. It'll be a 4-cheese pizza. So if you thought week 1 was cheesy, just wait until you see the level of cheese for the next meta.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I know it was probably hard to share that, but really, thank you for sharing that.
No worries. Should I jump to the sale, or did you have something else on the agenda you wanted to cover first?
Oh no, I just love extra cheese there, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I think people are going to be excited about this. With the shrimp pizza, I saw some reactions initially when we first revealed it. Not everyone likes shrimp on their pizza. I get it. I personally do prefer shrimp on my pizza or any type of seafood pizza. But 4-cheese is a bit more to people's liking. I know that. So figured might as well keep that party going.
Yeah, let's jump into the sale. I know we're running out of time as well, and yeah, when you talk about that, Top Boy?
Yeah, well, we got the Diamond Charge Station coming up in about 2 hours. I know Farmer Michelle is going to be sharing a reminder announcement on that. But just to cover some of the highlights, it's a Diamond Charge Station. It'll be going up for $900, which is discounted from $1,000 for 48 hours. It'll be 1 per transaction, and it'll be purchasable in Gala, in Town, and in credit cards. We also have another sale coming up in the following week. I'm actually really, really excited for this one. It's a new type of utility that we haven't done before. I know some people were asking about it. It might have been leaked in Discord, but we're calling this the Easy Dough Bakery. And as the name suggests, it's a unique type of bakery, actually, that makes crafting dough just a little bit easier. So crafting in this building will mean when you're making dough, you're not going to require butter as an ingredient for dough, which I think should help tremendously with the efficiency of your build. But that's going to be coming out next week. So we'll be sharing some announcements and some details on that as well.
Wow.
I see a lot of people
Cool.
asking if the Diamond Charge Station is going to be in the game right after the sale.
I don't believe it'll be in the game immediately, but maybe Musashi can speak to that. I know it'll definitely be in before the start of the next competition or the rewards competition on Tuesday.
Checking with the team.
Sorry, Musashi?
So I know that there's some custom code for that. We're trying to get it in as soon as possible. So expect it before the next competition for sure.
Awesome. And yes, the Easy Dough Bakery will be on Monday. We'll share the details on that in an announcement.
Yeah, cool. That's a slightly newer kind of utility. I'm excited to see how it works, what kind of reactions we have, and if we can continue doing those sort of stuff, that would just be a new line of things for us to release to our audience, right? So that's great. Really good stuff there from Top Boy and everyone else in the team. I just have one quick stat that I wanted to share. People have been asking about the Mayhem and all that. So we're still working on, some of our tracking and analytics and, identifying what are bot accounts and all of those things. But I will go ahead and share we've had 3,800 milestone ones being crossed, like 3,800 accounts that have crossed and will be getting the first achievement award. So I think that's pretty cool, right? But I'll really look forward to more people going through the further achievements and go for those big Gala rewards as well. So
I see we got a question wondering when the first batch of Gala rewards is going to go out for anybody who got their achievements already.
Yeah, so I know that they're probably not going to go out today. We were it's going to take a couple of days. But yeah, we'll keep everyone updated. Yeah, I know we just crossed that hour, so should we just go back into some of the Q&A? Any other questions you've seen, Michelle, through the last few minutes that we did these announcements?
No, I don't really see any other new questions.
Okay, awesome. Then I think we should call this a wrap. So we've been getting a lot of feedback. I think this week has been just a lot of involvement from the community, and a lot of bug fixes from the team. You heard Musashi saying everything is coming, so soon. A lot of items, scraps, all of them going live every single day. And just wanted to say, keep that feedback coming. We are looking at all of that feedback, whether it's on some of the FPS issues, the spinning T, all of those things. We are discussing about those. Keep coming in, and we have a better game because of all you guys out there. So I think that's pretty much it for today. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Yeah, have a great weekend, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Have an
everybody.
awesome
Hey, just a
weekend.
last note, we are reading and checking all the comments, even if we don't respond directly to them. And then everything that folks shared with me last week that I collected, yes, we're going over them with the team. So we are looking and reading, even though we don't talk about everything in the AMA. So thanks for that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Dubstep. Thanks, Citizen X. You guys have been joining all of the AMAs. Thanks, Nacho, for those